Hey buds, today is our 50th episode, so we're finally smoking our favorite strains.
We're covering stories about our favorite strains, our favorite times, and just things we want to talk about.
And a conversation about stuff that we love about the podcast series so far.
Also, we have Isaac with us.
All that and more on the Good Buds podcast.
You little bitch, you stole my line.
Let's celebrate!
Welcome to the Good Buds podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. I'm Curtis.
I'm Shank.
I'm Isaac.
And we'd like to thank you so much for joining us on our 50th episode.
You're welcome.
I meant the buds at home, but thanks. Thank you for joining us on our 50th episode. Again, almost an entire year of doing this podcast. It is August, originally airing on August 16th, 2021 on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Again, holy fuck, thank you, buds, for letting us come this far.
Before we start, we'd love to thank Lumen Spot and My High Shop for sponsoring this episode and all of our ones that came before it. Check out their links down below in the description, and we will talk more about them later. So, Curtis, how you doing today, man? We'll get to Isaac in a second, but how you doing today?
I overhyped it in the beginning. I'm alright. No, I'm doing good, man. Fucking, I'm proper amount of hype. It's 50th episode. It's great. Fucking, we got our favorite strains. I went out today and picked mine up, and I'll reveal it in a second. Couldn't be happier. I got some more other awesome, great strains of weed, and I'm getting high as a fuck tonight.
Life is good.
How about you, Shank? How are you
Man.
today?
Man, I am doing absolutely fantastic. Much like yourself, I went out and I picked up some of my favorite strain as well, which I will also be revealing to the buds in a short period of time. But I had a great day, man. I got around, enjoyed the really nice weather that we've been having up here. I'm so excited for this 50th episode. It's gonna be really good. It's a little bit different than the usual format, but the buds at home are gonna love it, I think. And we got Isaac with us, like you said. So Isaac, how are you today?
In pain.
How much?
I'm living.
How much?
Yes.
Is that yes levels
Great.
of pain? That's right.
I know what would fix that.
That's true. That's true. And
A good night's rest and some Tylenol.
yep. Yeah. Maybe a pap or two.
Yeah,
Yeah. But before we get on with the show, which I very much am excited to do, I do have to remind the buds at home to check out our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter for some great behind-the-scenes stuff and funny content that we post regularly. They can also jump onto our Discord if they want to have some great conversation, where we check in daily. Links will be downstairs for you in the description.
It's fantastic. We love talking with you, buds, and we like knowing what we can do to make the show better. If you want to make the show better, you can check out our Patreon page and donate there. We have several tiers that you can choose from, including behind-the-scenes content and the ability to listen in on the show live. Again, links are downstairs below. It starts as low as $1. You can join our other awesome patrons, such as Isaac and Mr. Benji Bills.
Yeah,
Isaac. That Isaac, the one
He's
who's
right
with
here.
us. Exactly. That's how.
Hi.
Hey.
Come on, buds. Come on, buds, donate. He's absolutely right. And also, just slap us with, some kind of like.
Your penis.
Subscribe.
No.
We would really appreciate it. Because that's No, don't slap us with your penis. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
No, that's reserved for OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's it.
But
That's
like
on-
Shake saying,
Yeah, but
like,
go say
comment, subscribe, share this with your buds.
He is so right. What do we say we get on with the reviews, Curtis?
I agree to that.
Good Buds Review, Good Bud.
All right, Curtis, what are you burning for the buds at home today?
Trumpets roaring, bum. I am smoking on my favorite strain of all time, well-renowned, world-renowned. I am smoking that Blue Dream.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Blue Dream, me and it go a long ways back. Initially introduced to me by my cousin JMO, who I had on the podcast before. Again, it's a fantastic sativa dominant hybrid strain, which is really surprising coming from me.
Yeah, you're the indica guy on the podcast usually.
Exactly, but here's the first thing. Me and Shank, since it's 50th episode, we have smoked well over 100 strains
Yep.
and reviewed them proper on the podcast. I can guarantee I've smoked more Blue Dream in my life than all of those strains combined.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my favorite strain as well. I think.
Exactly. And most of that was through high school era, so this was mainly used to keep me awake and active. But it
Yeah.
has a very distinct smell, very distinct taste, and hopefully it remains true and reminiscent because I haven't had it in a while. But Blue Dream is a gorgeous and classic strain, crossing blueberry and haze with a low THC percentage around 19%. So the strain is easy for beginners and for veteran stoners alike.
Hmm.
It's originating in California by unknown growers. However, this strain has spread to be a West Coast classic strain, winning multiple cannabis cups from all around the world from a whole bunch of different companies, growers, and shit like that. However, the phenotype specifically that I am smoking today comes to us from a place that also has a warm place in my heart, the House of Dank. Haven't mentioned it too much before, but House of Dank is one of the longest running provisioning centers in Michigan. They
Oh, geez.
grow, they fucking process, they dispense, and they have dispensaries and delivery and all this other stuff. And they're all nice along around into Detroit. I don't know if they're owned by anything bigger, but
Yeah.
it's nice to always support a local business. And, obviously, old
Get some
strain,
dank
old
weed.
store, get some dank weed. But this dank weed that I have is big, beautiful, dense, semi-soft nugs. A little bit of squish to them, but they are dense and a little bit of crunchy in there. The nugs are light green with long sugar leaves that kind of look like that curling thing from fucking Nightmare Before Christmas.
The like hill by the cemetery there. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, how it just kind of uncurls a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
still like curled up a bit.
Nice.
And those leaves have a darker green tone to them, kind of giving a nice little offset of colors. But also a nice offset is this coating of very nice, soft, peachy, fleshy colored hairs that follow the curves and the crevices of the nug very nicely.
Nice.
Come up in nice little sporadic patches, and it gives it like an overall color aura to the nug. And the whole nug itself blends well together with this very nice, deep, dense, frosted, sparkling coating of crystal.
Nice.
It's fucking fantastic, and to me, it looks like the strain of weed that if somebody says, "Hey, I have weed," this is now like the minimum standard of what I'm thinking. If it doesn't look like that, I'm not. I'm
High
usually not
standards.
interested.
High
So
standards,
it's. I mean, it's
man.
high standards,
You're
but
only
it's
dating nines and tens, bro.
not. I mean, the strain itself, really, I'm drawn to it because of passion and years.
Emotion,
But
yeah. It could be a
all in
five
all,
and you'd still love it.
no, exactly. All in all, it's I would rate it like a 6.5. I've seen some way nicer
Yeah,
stuff, but
yeah,
this is my solid.
yeah.
6.5 is a good standard.
It's good. It's beautiful. Yeah.
It's still beautiful. But anyway, the smell that I have for this Blue Dream, it brings me back. The smell is interesting, amazing, and very reminiscent of the past.
Yeah.
It has this strong double front of smells. It's both pine and berry. The berry of it is very sweet and slightly tart, kind of blue or raspberry scent to it. I
Hmm.
would say blueberry because, obviously a parent strain. And the piney bits of it are reminiscent of like Christmas decor, like that noticeable and strong, yet mellow enough to not be overpowering, kind of like gumdrops for gingerbread houses or
Yeah.
garland or shit like
Or like a
that.
fake scented Christmas tree. Like a fake scented,
Exactly.
yeah,
Big
you smell
scented
it.
pine tree.
It's not too overpowering, but when you stand near it, it can kind of be like, all right, fine.
Exactly. So the tones mix very well together, kind of has a hint of skunkiness at the end, and overall it's fantastic. I fucking love it. I've always loved it. It always brings me back. But I can't gush about it too much. Jank, you have something to gush over as well.
Yeah,
What do
no,
you got for us today?
that does sound like some fantastic Blue Dream you've got on your hands there. But today I am smoking my all-time favorite strain. I have smoked, like you said, a copious amount of this cannabis. I could never calculate it probably, but I am smoking Tangerine Dream. That's right, Tangerine Dream, the most gorgeous strain in my opinion, at least, right? But this one, I'll go over some specifics. This one was grown, it's a phenotype grown by San Rafael Cannabis. Fantastic company. I've had some of their cannabis before in the past, and I absolutely love it. It is a cross of Afghani, Neville's A5 Haze, and G13. And a lot like yours, Curtis. It's got a pretty moderate amount of THC at 17%. Like, it's not crazy. It's not a high amount.
Right,
Um,
but hold on for a second. Isaac, isn't G13 your prison name?
I can't say anything until I talk to a lawyer.
okay, cool.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. We understand, but yeah, it's absolutely 100% is my favorite strain for many many reasons. But I'm gonna tell you about the first reason right now. These nugs are fucking beautiful. Absolutely, hands down, one of the most beautiful strains I've ever had the chance to look at.
Nuggets are
Um,
pretty good looking, to be honest. Yeah.
I like nuggets, yeah, nuggy nugs. But they have seriously some like deep, dark purples and really dank browns that cover the outside. Like it's almost like some kind of alien landscape. Almost, it's just that pretty, right? And it's got these nice, stunning forest greens that kind of try to pop out through with some sugar leaves that are not curly like yours. Mine are more short cropped, just like that. Like mine are more short cropped and not like as curly or anything, but they are there and they're punching through a little bit with that nice deep dark green. And there's loads of red hair that coat the outside of the nug that brings like a nice wet rust color into the mix because they're very dark as far as red hairs go. Um, and again, just like last week's strain, the Northern Berry I smoked, these nugs are the medium-sized nug that you can just kind of grab one, pull it out, bust it up, and you've got just enough for a joint, and it's perfect almost every time. I mean, the fact that I roll bigger joints if I grab bigger nugs has nothing to do with this. But basically, it's like it's one of those strains that they're just the perfect size nug, and unlike last week's strain, is like though it instead of having that melted caramel kind of crystal look on the outside, it's more of a nice powdery, dusty, sparkly coating that just shimmers just right in pictures. I know
Kind of
you
falls off a
gave,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, and I know
Same
that
over
you
here.
gave yours like a 6.5, like for the like kind of like for
Yeah.
visuals at least. I would give this an 11 stoned badgers out of 10, like hands down, like no question.
So that's a
Like
badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom.
that's right,
That's a
that's
lot of
right.
fucking badgers.
That's a lot of badgers, like exactly. And so, but I gotta go over the smell as well because the smell. I didn't need the snick and sniff. I just wanted it. But it's like a fucking tangerine. Yeah, we can move on. That's pretty much it. It smells like a tangerine. I don't know what to tell you. Like when I first had this strain, like a long time ago, the person who was giving it to me asked me, "What does this smell like to you?" And literally the only correct response was like a fucking tangerine. So, yeah,
Yeah, that I mean that's accurate. I mean,
yeah, it smells like a fucking.
good tangerine dream, if properly grown, should just smell like a fucking tangerine.
And that's
That's it.
exact. This strain smells like it's. I might as well have peeled a tangerine open, and just went on the peels. It's the same damn smell. Like
Yeah.
same damn smell. I would eat the shit out of this weed if I didn't want to smoke it so bad. But Isaac, before we smoke anything, I need to figure out what are you drinking today. I see you got something with you there.
I have a beautiful light blue mixed in with yellow half-gallon carton of Dole 100% pineapple orange banana juice.
Oh
Ooh.
shit, that smells good. That sounds good.
It's the shit. It's the fucking shit.
How many fluid ounces on that?
Yeah.
We got 59.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice. That's a nice like that's 10 away from 69. Nice.
Noise. Noise. So
Yeah,
you
tell us
guys
more.
are you guys are all worrying about the nutrition facts.
You gotta know.
Of course.
So we got 120 calories. We got no total fat, 10 milligrams of sodium. I said that wrong. Total carbon, whatever, 30 grams.
Carbohydrates.
Whatever, nerd. 26 grams of total sugar, less than 1 gram of protein, no vitamin D until I get my hands on it. Calcium, 20 milligrams, 310 milligrams of Poseidon. That's what it looks like, but I know it's potassium. 50 milligrams of vitamin C, and hold on, let me just pour. Hold on, let me give it a good
Get a
shake.
good look at it. We gotta yeah.
Let me get a good shake.
Oh yeah.
Pour it in my whiskey glass. That's only for juice. That's beautiful.
No, describe that for the buds at home. Look at that.
It's got a more yellowy orange, unlike orange juice, and the smell smells like pineapple, orange, banana mixed together.
That's Incredible.
glorious.
That sounds fantastic. Obviously,
Now,
I'm sure you
it
can't
smells.
yeah.
It smells really good. Like not really artificial, right? Like it smells like
There's
100%.
no artificial flavors.
Wow. Wow,
Damn.
Dole bringing it home.
And also for the audio listeners, fucking Isaac, any word he said about that, he was smacking the container like my ass,
Punctuating
and it was
like
beautiful.
it was glorious. It was
I'm
glorious.
fully erect.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta at least a semi chub going. It has to actually be Curtis's ass for me to get all the way.
But
But
anyway,
before we get on with the show, though, I'm sure Isaac is excited to try that. I know you're excited to try the Blue Dream, to have the Blue Dream. I'm excited to burn mine. But before we do, I need to remind the buds at home to check out our Instagram page. If they're not already watching this on YouTube, which they should be, because there's all these beautiful pictures floating behind our heads when we talk about each nug that we smoke that we're going to be smoking. If they don't feel like doing the whole visual thing with YouTube, they can go to Instagram at Good Buds Podcast, where they can see pictures of these nugs that we will post every week, so you buds don't miss out on seeing these glorious, glorious nuggets.
And this carton of juice.
and the current
And the juice.
Absolutely. And while you're on Instagram, if you want a little bit of extra content coming across your feed, you can check me out over at Good Buds Curtis. I take some massive bong hits while also showing some behind the scenes of me editing the YouTube videos.
He absolutely does, and you can check me over at Good Buds Shank, where I do all kinds of weird art house shenanigans, like listen to elevator music while I still stare at the camera and smoke weed. It's pretty fun. It's a good time all around. Remember to click that follow button. Isaac, do you have an Instagram that they can follow you at?
Yeah, but I don't remember the name. To be
All right,
honest.
we'll put a link down below for you buds.
You can go to his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Good Buzz Isaac.
Yeah.
Good Buds
I don't know.
Good Buds Isaac YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Check it out.
The ID,
He
the
posts
I
clips
don't
there,
know
like,
isn't
twice
there,
a
but
year.
you could if you wanted.
Yeah, I don't know, you could. But anyway, I'm stoked to get on with this. So what do you say,
Same.
Curtis?
I have
We
a-
try these out, bruh.
Yes, this is a bong. I have it ready right
Ding
here.
ding ding! And I also have a bong ready, right here. Da-na-na-na-na.
I don't know why I was being so rough with banging, because what I also have today is a glorious, beautiful gold clipper lighter that I picked up special for the Good Buds podcast episode 50. It is
That's
all
right.
metal case. It is refillable,
It's glorious.
glorious, and I got it from Breeze Dispensary on one of my last trips there when I was out getting a whole bunch of cannabis.
It's absolutely beautiful. I honestly love it. I'm more than a little jealous.
It also came in this awesome like case with it that has like foam around it too.
Oh yeah, it's classy as fuck.
It's
They went
super-
all the way with the class. They went all the way.
It is class
They didn't
out
have to
the
go that
ass, and it's time for the flame to hit this glass. 'Cause I have a bong packed right here, and hopefully the buds at home, you have your bongs packed, your bowls packed, your joints rolled, your blunts rolled, your vapes ready, your rigs ready. Your edibles can be taken right now, and if you have a glass of juice, now is the time to pour it or just chug from the carton.
Hell
Isaac's
yeah, brother.
shaking it up right now.
Toke, drink, shkaboke.
So hope everybody blaze it. Toke toke shkaboke. Happy 50th episode.
Mm.
Woo!
So
Oh,
Curtis,
that brings me back. Whew.
Curtis, how's that tasting for you, man?
Exactly as it should. As I know with Tangerine Dream, and you'll get to it in a second, it's distinct. And Blue Dream is another one of those strains. It's very distinct. And it's perfect. But again, the flavor, the hit itself is soothing, cool, and it gives very strong beachy vibes before it hits a little bitty bit of burn in the back of the throat that just lets you know, hey, it's there, but it still has flavor to it.
Nice.
It has berry tones that hit first, obviously with blueberry being the parent strain, and this hits with a low earthy hit also. Slight bit of saltiness, and this very crisp, clean pine flavor. And it, all in all, just tastes like one of those tropical strains where it's like, this tastes like a beach. This tastes like, a beach in fucking Bahamas or Caribbean or
Nice.
Puerto San Lucas or some shit
Yeah,
like that.
Tropical.
Yeah, so it's very nice. It gives it a nice beachy tropical flavor. It's a sweet fruit and earthiness and like the slight bit of minty pineness, saltiness. It's just glorious memories into my brain, but I got stuff to talk about that later. I got to take more of this. Shank, how is your strain going for you?
Man, honestly, it was so good. Sweet sweet, tasty tangerines with a little itty bit of Kush mixed in with it. Super smooth, super sweet. It's an absolutely great token. Any method I've tried it in, whether you have it in a pipe, a bong, or a joint, or what doesn't matter. This was no different. This hit was amazing. And it's got a really fantastic, strong citrus flavor, specifically fucking tangerine. It's like it says on the box, man. It does what it says on the box. It says it's a tangerine. It tastes like tangerine and Kush, a little bit of Kush mixed in there, I guess. Like if I had to get really really deep with it, but I had to dig deep for that Kush. So, Isaac, how's that orange juice hitting you, man? Sorry, the orange pineapple banana juice. How's that hitting you?
Pineapple, orange, banana.
Pineapple, orange, banana juice. How's that hitting you?
Hitting the motherfucking spot. I feel hydrated as hell.
Nice.
What
Nice.
flavor hits you first? Do you say?
Yeah. What do you get off the top?
At first, it's pineapple mixed with orange, but after a while, it's banana.
Yeah, that
So the
pineapple
banana
can
is
be
kind of like
strong.
the aftertaste of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the pineapple can be a strong flavor, right? So when you put it on there, it overpowers.
It's like when you're drinking something that's strawberry banana, and you get strawberry first and then banana after.
Mm.
That's
like
how I
that.
prefer it, because I prefer banana as the aftertaste as opposed to orange or
Well,
pineapple. If it's
banana
orange,
forward in a smoothie, but other fruit forward in a juice, right?
I mean, if it's, you mean like banana strawberry smoothies?
Yeah, like if you're having a smoothie like with bananas and strawberries, you want to have that banana kind of the creamy
Nah.
banana-y flavor in that smoothie, but the juice.
No, I want the nice sweet strawberry first and the creamy banana afterwards.
Yeah.
And so yeah, with shakes and with juices, I'd rather have the banana linger. With the orange, I'd be puckery and stuff, and then the pineapple, it's just like I want to be on the beach.
You most definitely get hit with the pineapple orange first.
Very nice, very nice. Now, obviously, I'm really stoked to try, more of these, to burn more. But before we do, we need to check into some stuff, right?
Absolutely. We have to figure out what the online opinions of other stoners online are of these strains, because we are other stoners online giving our opinions to the online. In the meantime, Isaac, I want you to go on Amazon and look up reviews for that juice and let me know what people are telling about it.
On Amazon.
These are the online opinions.
Opinion.
So, firstly, the Blue Dream is obviously, like I said, a sativa dominant hybrid, giving a nice, happy, euphoric, and creative high.
Mhm.
Like I said, it got me through most of high school
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, it dragged you through.
It's very good with cerebral stimulation and full body relaxation. It treats very well for chronic pain, nausea, and depression that it's recommended to medical patients when it was, initially started.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very nice. It doesn't leave you too draggy or too sleepy or anything, so you still got some nice movement. And it does cause a bit of dry mouth, but I got my bevs, I got my snacks, I got my stuffs.
Yeah, we ready.
Shank, how about you, sir? What are they saying about your strain?
Well, my strain, the Tangerine Dream, obviously it's a very highly reviewed strain by a lot of people. They say that it's a happy, euphoric, very sweet, very uplifting strain that's great for pain relief. It reduces anxiety. It's excellent for comfort, and it's a very good getting shit done strain. If you want to get shit done, you want to smoke something, and feel like you're not too cloudy to get anything done or too heavy to get up out of your chair, like this is a good strain for that. So that makes it a very good strain for any time of the day. And my favorite online review that I saw on Leafly said, and I quote, "Yo, I was vibrating and shit." So, yeah, so
he was vibrating and
yeah,
shit.
it's a yo, I was vibrating and shit. That's specifically
It's
is my favorite. Yeah,
It's interesting because usually sometimes me and Shank have trouble when we're smoking some of the more cultivated, more defined what's the word I'm looking
like
for?
niche strains.
Niche strains or like
Craft? Like craft
craft.
strains?
That's the word I'm
Craft
looking for.
strains, yeah,
Craft
yeah.
strains. So when we're smoking more of those, it's usually harder to find reviews. Both Blue Dream and Tangerine Sky are both some of the most reviewed and most searched for strains on Leafly specifically.
They are, yeah. They're like two of the most popular strains in the entire world, and there's a very good reason for that. Sometimes stereotypes are true, and in this case, these two strains being good strains,
right?
It's true.
Now, on top of that, there's also a whole bunch, or there's another very important thing in the world, and that's the Dole Fruit Company. So hopefully, Isaac, do you got any online
Yeah,
reviews
I
for
was
your
just about to
juice?
ask. Yeah, Isaac, what are you getting online about that juice there, brother?
Okay, so a lot of people like it because it has banana in it.
Okay, that's a
No,
good
we
reason to
got,
like it.
we got.
Yeah,
Told you.
yeah,
Let's
you're
see here.
right.
We got. Oh, look at this loser said pineapple. The pineapple overpowers everything else. No, it don't. It is shit.
It just,
Someone says it's delicious. If you love banana, buy it.
noise.
My favorite one though is that someone said, "Great little juice can for my 90-year-old grandfather. Easy to handle, hard to open without help. Can't taste the banana. Oh wait, can taste the banana, so it tastes like pineapple orange in the beginning, then drink banana at the end." Like I
Boom.
said.
So they agree with you entirely. The online reviews seem to match with Isaac's opinion so far.
Oh, and then the rest is something about how Amazon damaged your cans. I don't know. I don't care. It's fucking good.
Amazon
got
damaged
politi-
my cans too, but
It got
that
very
was just because
political after that.
they got a
So
little they got a little handsy and they damaged my cans, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of the bad reviews are the cans.
But
'Cause it's
obviously, if we
cans
have
on
any
there.
negative repercussions, though, if we do have any negative repercussions like dented cans or dry mouth or dry eyes or anything else, we are always prepared for that because we are seasoned stoners, garlic powder.
exactly. And with being prepared, we have joints rolled right here, ready to go.
Oh yes,
I got
sir.
mine.
I got a joint roll right here.
And Isaac has a cup full of juice
Got my
right there.
whiskey glass I poured.
Yeah, but only for juice.
Exactly. Right there, ready to go. So, what we're going to do first is a quick little dry hit to see if we can get some extra flavor. And Isaac is just going to, like, sommelier the glass, I guess. Or take tiny little sips.
Good buds ASMR moments. Oh man, jeez, that's yeah. So Curtis, how's that dry hit coming through for you, man?
Minty, slight bit of berry, nice still little beach vibes, and it's a little soft, but, a little bit of muted flavors. And obviously, I got to do some other stuff to it to make it a little bit better. But, Frank, how about you? How about your joint? What is it doing?
It's a fucking tangerine. Seriously, I love this strain.
No,
I
it's
love
a
it.
joint.
But I love it though because like the best thing about
Idiot.
this strain, if someone says what does it taste like, you know when you eat frog's legs and you're like it tastes like chicken and people don't
Hold on. Who the
then-
fuck eats frog legs for
All right,
one?
I've eaten frog legs. Anybody out there who's eaten frog's legs know that I'm telling the truth here though. But if someone tells you that frog's legs taste like chicken, they aren't fucking lying to you because they taste exactly like chicken. So that is the only other situation in life where I can think of someone saying that something tastes exactly like something else and having it taste exactly like it or smell and like this tastes and smells like a tangerine. I'm
Oh
getting
no,
like it's weird. It's not
my
a
uncle
tangerine. My
says
brain
that
says I know.
alligator tastes like chicken.
Alligator, no, it's more gamey than chicken. It tastes more like I'd say like quail or like something like that. It's not really
Kangaroo
like
tastes like people.
I've never tried kangaroo, so I can't.
Pardon me.
But anyway,
How's your juice, Isaac?
How's your juice? Yeah, how's that?
I don't know.
how's that
I
smell?
didn't really get a smell because you guys were asking for ASMR and I only spent my money.
Oh, okay, that's
That's
Oh.
hot. What's your breath smell like?
what is yeah, juice. Yeah, it smells like pineapple, banana, and yeah, orange. That's
Pineapple, orange,
interesting.
banana. Nice.
Interesting.
So, I think it's time that we light our joints.
Mhm.
We got ours rolled, and hopefully you have yours rolled too. You have your joints rolled, blunts rolled, bongs packed, bowls packed, face ready, rigs ready, all the other bullshit. Doesn't matter. Proper medical receptacle. It is time to blaze it. Tok tok shkaboke.
Go. Episode 50.
Oh no, you guys are making noises. I thought I would make my own.
Oh man, I had to.
Yes.
It was either that or come a little.
I'm doing everything and above.
I'm doing
Yep.
all that. Oh my god. So Curtis, how's that flavor hitting you, bro?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Fucking delicious. It's just like the bong, just a little bit smoother and more mellow. Fucking I do get a little bit more like earthiness to it, so it's like a little bit off the beach, but I'm still getting the salty beach vibes, still getting the fruity berryness, the sweetness. It's fan fucking tastic.
Oh man,
I
that's
can
magnificent. That's
open more of
magnificent.
this.
Oh,
Mm.
that's great, man.
How about you?
Oh, dude, this shit is amazing. It's so good. Like, it's just like hit after hit of a delicious, semi-cushy tangerine. Like, it's like the bong hit. Like I said, when I took that bong hit, whether it's a bong hit, a pipe hit, like hot knives, you name it, no matter how you take this strain, it has like the nicest, sweetest, like almost candied tangerine flavor, and it's so good. This is so good. Thank you, buds, for keeping with us up to episode 50, so we could finally smoke our favorite strains.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it big time. But Isaac, man,
I mean,
juice
this
hitting
juice
you?
probably it still probably hasn't
Still hitting you
changed.
good?
Do you feel oxidized? Do you
Did
feel
you
like
take
you're
a big
getting
yeah,
a
take a
good
big
amount
hit?
of vitamins?
Oh yeah, that hydration's really setting in.
How's your vitamin
Oh, yeah.
D?
There's no vitamin D in it.
Uh,
I have to put. Never mind.
you supply your own.
I supply my own in it.
I supply my own vitamin D, if you know what I mean. Wank wank.
I use the juice as lube. Okay.
All right, fine. Uh, but man, these are
That's
you know
just
what?
one thing you can use that product for. We have other products that you can use for multiple other reasons. So let's run a quick little ad spot.
Do you like fashionable and unique clothing? Do you like things that shine super bright when exposed to light? Do you like discounts? Do you like advertisements that ask, do you like, over and over, knowing there is no direct way for you to answer back? If you answered yes to all of these questions, or even just the first three, check out lumenspot.com for some lit clothing and accessories, and use the code GoodBudsPodcast at the checkout for 50% off and free shipping. Thank you, Lumenspot, for sponsoring us, and thank all of you for listening. Check it out today with the link below in the description.
Thank you, Lumenspot, for sticking with us so long.
Oh, seriously,
Now,
awesome clothing.
now, we have our strains. There's reasons that they're our favorite strains. Is we're gonna sit here, smoke our joints, talk with Isaac a little bit more, and explain why these strains are so fantastic to us. And I know what you're thinking. Why are we gonna sit here and talk about our favorite weed with a guy who doesn't smoke weed? Fuck you.
It's none of your business.
Yeah, and if you really need to know, it's because Isaac has been with this show longer than any of the buds at home because he was there at the inception. He's been with us the entire time, whether he smokes cannabis or not. Like, dude's knowledgeable now. He knows more about cannabis than I think he ever intended to know because he has to, because he's been around us for so long.
Yeah.
Right. I know about sativa.
That's right.
And
He is
Indo
learning.
weed.
And Indo.
And Indo couch.
And
India couch.
and Indiava. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
and you know, Tesla.
Model 3.
But still,
No, it's a hybrid, not electric.
yeah, like Curtis was saying, we're not going to be really covering the news today, as we
Instead,
were.
we're going to talk about stories about why we have these favorite strains of weed.
Yeah, in
So-
favorite cannabis, local to us, wide.
Exactly.
Words.
Jake,
Who the fuck is doing that?
It's
So-
me, man. I
God.
control the sound. I control the
So-
sound telepathically.
so Shank,
Christ, fire your ass.
Tangerine Dream. How did you start smoking it? When did you start smoking it? What do you remember about it? And fuck.
Tangerine Dream. The first time I remember the first time I smoked Tangerine Dream was at a music festival, more specifically a blues festival, and I was hanging out with my stepdad and like several other people, just enjoying the music, enjoying the crowd, like and everything else. Pre-COVID, obviously, I'm probably not gonna be going to any festivals in the near future, but it was awesome, man. We were having a great time. I had some edible cookies. I had some and I'd been smoking weed pretty much every camp you go to. People are smoking a joint, right? So you stop by and you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and everything else. And we got back to our camp afterwards, and we sat down, and a few people came over that were because we were near the stage. They came over and they're hanging out. And my stepdad's like, "Oh yeah, I got this other strain we can try out." And he went in the camper, and he grabbed it and brought it out. And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "before," he's like, "roll." He tossed it at me. He's like, "Roll a joint of that." And he's like, "Before you do," he's like, "Tell me what it smells like." And I was like, okay, because usually he just tells me to smell it if it smells good. He doesn't ask me what it smells like, right?
Right.
And so I smelled it, and the smell hit me, and I was like, dude, that smells like a fucking tangerine or a clementine or an orange or something. He was like, yeah, it's a fucking tangerine. And so after that, like, I just it's all I could do was sit there and just smell this weed, and I busted some up and I rolled a joint and I smoked it, and I remember of all the different strains that I had managed to like kind of like have a puff here and there of and everything else during that festival, that strain immediately stood out to me as like the strain. It was like, man, this is the best strain you're gonna get your hands on. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is great. This is fantastic. So my stepdad had gotten some, and he had gotten it through a medical service, I think, and I just had tried a little bit, and so I found a source of my own for Tangerine Dream, and I tried it, and it was fantastic, but not as good, not nearly as good as the other stuff, right? And so
Right.
I was like, but I still loved it. It was still delicious, still had that tangerine flavor, still really enjoyed the shit out of it, and then like it's just one of those things that the moment I walked into the store and I saw listed Tangerine Dream, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that right now.
Yeah.
Like immediately, no question. And I bought it, and it was San Rafael. It was the same strain, actually, same phenotype that I have. Well, not same phenotype because this is probably a different grow by now, but same company at least.
Probably a clone of a clone, a
Probably
different
a clone of a clone
generation.
of a clone of a clone. But I saw this and I was like, I'm buying it, and I bought it. And the second I smoked that joint, I immediately was taken back to the music festival, man. I immediately was like transported back to that moment where I was like lighting up that joint and having such a great time, and like sitting around jamming with a bunch of cool people, and
Right.
like and just like the flavor was like, okay, that's it. This is your favorite strain. It doesn't matter what strains you've smoked before. What other strain? I know my previous favorite, which was Armageddon. Armageddon was my previous favorite strain, and that's
Good
only
Mortal
because
Kombat.
yeah, Mortal Kombat favorite
Amazing Mortal Kombat.
and favorite Mortal Kombat game also.
Yes.
But Armageddon was my favorite before because of how dark brown it is. It's a very dark brown strain, and it
Oh,
looked
yeah.
visually different than any other strain I'd had. So, and it tasted great, and it got me high, got me baked. So it was my favorite strain, air quotes favorite strain. But Tangerine Dream is my first favorite strain that I had, and like that's attached to like such positive feelings, and the flavor just like is so perfect, and everything else about it is such a like the level of stone, the level of everything, that it was immediately and without question the number one spot on my cannabis list. I haven't had anything come close to it. As many delicious strains as we've smoked during the podcast, and we'll touch on some of them, but as many delicious strains as we've had on the podcast, none of them have compared to this one. Like in episode 50. This is my favorite. Thank you, buds, again for sticking with us.
Right.
And Curtis, how's the Tangerine Dream? Like the Tangerine Dream? Like how did you come to love your strain
So
and your strain?
so for me, I mentioned it a slight bit before, but uh most of the time when I was partaking in cannabis at a time when I shouldn't have been, per se, legacy years, I will say.
That's the term I love. The legacy years.
The legacy years. Um, so me and my cousin were hanging out at a bowling alley, and usually that's where we met people who came up, and we got cannabis.
Same
We were able to
bowling
smoke.
alley from the Mortal Kombat episode that we talked about, where you first played the MK2. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no, different bowling alley.
Different bowling
They
alley.
were right
Oh.
down the street from each other, but
Shit. All right.
the original one closed down now. The one with the Mortal
Oh.
Kombat, but different bowling alley. This is the one where we raised hell in.
Okay, this is the Hellion one. Yeah, the other one was where
Exa-
you gamed. This one was Hellion. All right, I get it.
Exactly. So yeah, this one we decided one night. We actually found a guy who gave us options, and of those options, we had Regos, which everyone knew about that.
Yeah.
We had Blueberry, which nobody trusted Blueberry at the time because of
sprays.
reasons, sprays and stuff like that.
People had so many fucking blueberry flavored and scented sprays that they were hitting weed with and being like, "This is blueberry weed."
Exactly.
No, it's
So-
not, bud.
Nobody trusted that, and nobody paid extra for it because
Mm-hmm.
everyone knew about it.
Yep.
Until actual stuff started coming around. But there was that. There was like Afghan and Hindu and a couple other strains, but not like a whole huge selection like there
Some
is
kind of
today.
hashish kush, yeah, hash kush or yeah.
So once in a while, you'd find a Granddaddy Perp or you'd find a Maui Wowie. But one of the ones that rarely came around that we finally heard of was Blue Dream. That came around our neighborhood, and we're like, okay, Blue Dream, let's try some of that. So me and my cousin got some of that. My cousin had smoked it before and said it's really good. He loved it. To this day, it's still one of his, if not definitely his favorite strain. I still have to ask him, but his favorite strain too. And so we go to the back, get a bowl back, start smoking some of it. Immediately, I'm like, I really fucking like this strain.
Mm.
You know, it's got a very nice crisp flavor, the same like I'm smoking right now. Got a very crisp, distinct smell, which same as what I smelled today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, I really fucking like this strain. I would have, at the time, I said it was my favorite. Now, I changed my mind a little bit later because down the line, I got a quarter ounce of Northern Lights from my friend who had to get rid of weed. So I'm like, okay, I have a quarter ounce of Northern Lights. First time I've ever had this much weed.
Hell yeah.
Might as well smoke a fuck ton of it. And I liked Northern Lights for a while.
Yeah.
And then Blue Dream finally started coming around a lot more, started becoming, you know, a little bit cheaper. So started smoking that, started smoking that, started smoking that. And immediately Northern Lights was out the window. I'm like, Blue Dream all the fucking way. I absolutely love this strain.
Yeah.
Every time I hear Northern Lights, I think of that skit from The Office.
Yeah,
What is this?
What
Northern
that's
Lights.
Northern Lights, cannabis indica. No,
Cannabis
it's
sativa.
marijuana.
Marijuana.
Or no, yeah, cannabis sativa. No, it's marijuana. You can go.
Like,
oh man, yeah, no, but I love Northern
so-
Lights is a great strain, and I can see why that would pop into your favorites there for a minute. Yeah.
Wait, that's a
I mean,
strain. It's not a beer.
yeah, it's a strain of weed.
Yeah, it's a strain of weed, yeah.
Why did I always think it was a beer as well?
I don't know,
There
is
might
it
be a beer that's named Northern Lights. I know there's
Curtis
one
is
called
talking-
Blue
yeah.
Moon.
While Curtis continues the story, I'm gonna find that out.
I
So
don't drink, so I don't know.
on top of it being one of the first strains that was, you know, definitely not Regos and definitely not some kind of bunk weed. It was actually good if you actually got Blue Dream. I always loved it from there. The first time I had enough money to buy an entire ounce of cannabis to myself, the ounce that I got was Blue Dream. The first time I got cannabis from a legal medical dispensary in Michigan, not saying I bought it, but the guy who did bought it and was legal to do so.
Jesus.
There is indeed a beer called Northern Lights beer, but it's a very craft brewery, like very low key, like not a huge brand name, well known kind of beer. However, there is a thing here called Northern Lights slushies that come in a can that have cannabis fucking markers all over them that I am going to need to investigate further. So you continue on.
Investigate further, and we'll talk about that at a different time. But
Yeah.
so, yeah, Blue Dream was the first strain that I got from a legal medical dispensary. Was fucking amazing from there, and the taste and the smell stayed the same all throughout.
Nice.
And yeah, I just smoked a fuck ton of it, and since the start of the podcast, I really haven't smoked too much of it because I've been saving, holding out, and waiting for it.
And we've
so
been
I've kinda
smoking so
just
many
been
other amazing strains that it's hard to like kind of find time for.
kind of brought in the horizons and stuff.
Yeah, we like to keep it fresh for you buds, right? So we make sure to like mix it up.
I mean, for a while I had a dealer who the only thing he would sell was Holland Hope. So I
Holland
Is that
literally
anything like Hall and Oates?
no, Holland Hope is basically like 2 steps above like just basic Kush.
I thought you said Hell and Hope.
Helen Hunt?
No, I swear he said Hell and Hope. So it's like
yeah.
a hell when you're smoking, and so you gotta hope you make it out.
You gotta hope you make. That's efficient fucking reasoning. Oh, I love your brain, man. But one thing I don't love, Curtis, I've come into a crisis. My joint, it's out.
Yeah.
But I have a blunt that I rolled for the podcast, so I'm gonna light that now.
All right, think on a blunt.
50th episode. I figured, pull out the big guns.
Fuck it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So-
fucking- what did I use? Hold on 1 second. I want to see what I used for this. I don't even remember. It's it's called Primal Wrap.
A primal wrap.
Oh,
Any flavoring to it or?
No, unfortunately, once again, Canadian,
yeah.
specifically Nova Scotian government, is absolutely fucking ridiculously stupid and decided to ban all flavored products, including flavored blunt wraps, which makes me want to slap them metaphorically because I would never assault somebody, but it makes
Yep.
me very upset.
I understand.
While you do what I do and mod them into GTA and get revenge.
Dude, that's actually not a bad idea. Or just make them in The Sims.
And just
Scoop de
kill off their
flooper.
family.
Why am I stuck in the
Come to
pool?
Scooble Floop! I'm the Floop Floop! Local politician has drowned in the pool.
There was no ladder.
But yeah, it's a hemp-based, I think. Hemp-based rap. I want to say, I hope it's hemp because, oh my god, it's not it's tobacco-free, so I hope it's hemp.
I would
Otherwise,
hope so.
otherwise, I'm just smoking a book, like a book paper or something.
That's not good. Isaac. So, we have favorite strains. I'm sure you've heard a whole bunch of funny ass either names of strains or names for cannabis, for pot in general. What are some of the funniest names you've heard of?
What are your favorite?
I mean, I know you love Ted, and you love the strains that they had in there.
This is permanent. They're coming.
got?
They're coming.
They're coming. Gorilla
that
Panic.
one, that one in there, in my opinion, they're coming was my favorite fucking strain in that.
My favorite was
Mild
just his straight face. This is permanent.
Yeah, this is permanent.
I don't know. I think the funniest I think I've ever heard was, I think it's called Obama Kush. It's literally like Obama, like Barack Obama.
Yeah, Obama Kush. I've heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a new fucking a new clone off of Presidential Kush, which I've smoked before. Very nice.
Yeah, I had some Trump Kush, but it was really damp and like it was like 90% orange hair.
Didn't even get me high. It just made me cough a lot.
It didn't get me high. It made me cough a lot and get angry.
I think they did the Obama stuff because Obama.
And for
was a
some
little
reason, my
pothead back in the
neighbors
day.
started yelling at each other.
What, Isaac?
I think they did it because Obama was a bit of a pothead back in the day.
Oh yeah, there's some I think that, like he said that like he's an advocate for cannabis, for cannabis rights and everything else and that kind of thing, right? So
just imagine him and Michelle in the Secret Service were just passing around blunts and joints in the Oval Office.
Why do you think the Pentagon is shaped like that? It's so everybody can pass the blunt all the way around the entire building.
Michelle,
pass me that blunt.
Sergeant?
I think you got me
Captain?
some Northern Lights. Oh, Secret Service, can you go grab me some Tostitos? Thank you.
Then the Trump's in the Oval Office with the security. So, Mr. Trump, you want to smoke? No.
No. Marijuana is for Mexicans.
Everyone, you know what? I'll try it at the end. It goes around the entire room. Everyone smokes it from a full joint all the way down to him. By the time it gets to him, it's a roach. He grabs it in his hand. It looks like a full blunt to him. Because of his tiny hands.
Little hands.
I know what you're talking about. My hands are huge.
Obviously, this blunt is huge.
Okay, we're getting too much into this. Anyway.
No, yeah, that's a tangent. But still, so like Obama Kush is a good name. That is a great name. But like this is permanent. Fucking like I don't know, man. There's a lot of hilarious fake weed names out there. But
not even fake weed. Fucking even ones
like,
we've had.
Real name,
You had one. What was it? Durgamata 2?
Durgamata, yeah, Durgamata. And again, I think it means something. It does have some kind of meaning. I can't remember what, but it is Durgamata 2. And I've had some that are literally just numbers. Like I've literally like that. I well, Mac 1. You remember when I smoked Mac 1?
Number 5. Well, Mac 1 is a variant of Mac OG, which Mac OG is very classic. But you had number 516 Sonic Express, which obviously that one was after a train, but still.
Still though, like it's like like it's just we've smoked some pretty interesting strains.
Remember when I had Bitch Breath?
Yes, puta breath. Oh,
Puta Breath, episode 19.
For the buds at home who can't look at our strains log because it's not yet available for public consumption, it will be at some point in the future, but not yet. His strains log for Puta Breath, episode 19, if you want to check the episode out, has the longest description for the like how it
physical
looks. Physical attributes. It has the longest fucking thing, and it's, oh my god, it's so beautiful to read. Sometimes I go back and I just like read it again.
Okay, I may have found a funnier name.
All right, what's that?
What do you got?
Bob Saget OG.
Oh, hey.
I
can't be addicted to weed. You ever suck a dick for weed?
Well, no.
Yeah, but
It says here about it that American's Funniest Home Videos is both a show that stoners enjoy as well as a show that showcases a lot of stoners. So of course the show's greatest host has a marijuana strain named after him.
yeah, yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah. And then those three that we didn't know the name of, the three strains that we had no idea what they were, or four,
Oh, yeah.
was it? Yeah, the three
Three.
strains we had no idea. Yeah, who knows? Who cares? And fuck it.
I love those
We
strains.
didn't. We didn't know.
I
what
like two
what
of
to
them
call
strains.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I like mine.
Grape Stomper was,
Can't,
I mean,
oh,
on top of the weird, it was just a weird name, but that was also just a very fantastic fucking nug. I remember
And
that one was very fucking beautiful.
and harkening back to something that means a lot to the podcast and touching back to something that grew to be a part of the fucking deepest, darkest
D-
pits of the podcast. I'm sure you know what I'm going to say here, Curtis, but episode number 5,
Isaac, I
White
think
Runs.
you're even gonna know what we're saying.
White Runs.
Once. White Runs.
White Runs.
isn't that
We
like the
fucked up.
Save-A-Lot version
Oh, man, yeah.
of weed?
Well, White Runs, oh, man, there's
no.
no.
Or White Runs is like fucking pinnacle,
Yeah.
like fucking
Yeah.
boar's head.
Yeah, White Runs is like,
Of
it's a good strain, but there's a lot of fake,
It's like some
of it.
Randazzo's
Yeah.
fucking Whole Foods type shit.
Exactly, and so there's a lot of fake shit going around for it as well, right? So it's one of those things that
Well, just Runts in general. It's
yeah,
such
runs
a
in general. But
Runts is
White
such
Run,
a fucking fantastic strain, and White Runs being a specific breed of it is such a fantastic sought after strain.
yeah, but
that-
yeah,
Yeah,
turns
people
out
really
it's
need to
fake.
fuck it.
Yeah,
I'll review my first cannabis if I can get my hands on Alaskan Thunderfuck.
I will gladly get you Alaskan
dude,
Thunder.
we will get you
if I
Alaskan
can.
Thunder. We will do it. This is
We
something
all
that's
need to get
happening.
Alaskan
We're gonna,
Thunder.
yeah, we will.
Or
that's Alaskan
or
Thunder.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Alien.
Alaskan Thunderfuck is going to be episode 69.
All right, yep. We got to try to get Alaskan Thunder. Can I get Newfoundland Thunderfuck so I get a local variety, but it's still called Thunderfuck?
Yep.
All right, sweet.
We're getting
Why,
Thunderfuck strains.
why don't you also add in White Girl OG?
White
Girl
Girl
OG?
OG.
Yeah, we could
The
probably do
perfect strain for the
We could probably
basic
do that.
white girl who needs a marijuana story so she can tell at parties for the next 20 years.
that. Oh my god, that's magnificent. That is
You
magnificent.
want that White Wedding?
That's what you guys can do for an episode. You can get Bob Saget OG and then you can get Charlie Sheen.
Oh my god, yeah. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah.
Tiger blood. But but fucking no, like I know, man, like there's just so many, we've smoked so many, like we've like just interesting, like delicious strains from like all the way from citrus glue in episode number 1 and fucking, you know, the like fucking like the citrus glue and the monkey glue from episode number 1, those two glue strains,
Oh, yeah.
all the way to like, you know, where we are now, like fucking we've called it,
Or Blue Dream and Tangerine Dream, our favorites. And we've smoked, I know those are classic strains, but we've smoked a fuck ton in between. We got a fuck ton more that we can smoke.
we've smoked like holy themed ones, we've smoked color themed ones, we've smoked flavored ones, like, you know, like named after like movies and media and everything in between, you know? Like it's insane. Like the amount of different strains that we've smoked that are from so many different avenues.
Avenues, varieties,
Yeah.
fucking words.
Like named after
Languages,
like
cultures.
locations. Yeah, locations, cultures. Like some of them are just straight up called Violator and Slurricane.
Some are just
See-
fruits.
See, one of the ones you're missing is you gotta just do a whole month of like celebrity month and just have a bunch of celebrity
Try to
like
get some celebrity
cannabis, like celebrities have their own cannabis. You can do
Yeah,
like,
oh, yeah.
Got, like
theirs.
Snoop Dogg shit, fucking.
You can
Well, I
do
smoked
Snoop
that.
Dogg's. You could do Purple Urkel.
Yeah, on my shelf I actually have some LBS weed in one of those jars up there.
Snoop
yeah,
Dogg stuff
Sunset.
is Snoop Dogg stuff isn't that hard to get because it's kind of
Yeah.
you know spreading wherever legalization goes.
Mhm.
A lot of the other ones usually just stick to California because
know.
that's where they're at and it's easy to localize.
And
But-
yeah, and that way they don't need to worry about shipping. And a lot of them are doing it in a really craft weed style. Like they're advertising it because they want to sell out all of it.
Right.
But it's only in like the California market because they're growing it and selling it in California with like a specific growery. You know what I mean? Like
So
they're
you're
going
telling
to
me
like.
we need to have the Good Buds Mansion in California.
We need Good Buds Do America.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say like if anything, we should go to Arizona because it's bitching.
That's what I said. Good buds to America.
Yeah, good
We
buds
go
to
to
America. Yeah, that is
California
something.
and
Hey, buds. Yeah.
Arizona.
That's something in the future, buds. Like road trip in America. You know,
Wait,
that's a
gotta
potential
come.
thing in the future.
Gotta come here because remember, I know someone who can get us Amish weed.
Oh yeah, that Amish weed.
I gotta get that weed up and
Or,
Amish.
like, I want to get some Ezekiel Kush.
See,
This one, man, this one is called 20-minute barn raising.
This one's called the freshest omelet you'll ever have.
This one's called Out in the Hay.
This one's called a very cheap bed that will still last you, 100 years.
This one's corny OG.
This one's fresh baked bread with a little bit of grain still mixed in.
can't
This
forget
is
about the turn butter.
yeah. This is the turned wax.
This is the setting for an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh my god.
But
Oh.
in order to get Good Buds Do America, we're going to need some financial funding.
True. We do need some financial funding, so that's why we were going to jump into our beautiful, lovely ad spot.
Hey buds, you really want to show off your love of marijuana, or just really shine at your next smoke session? You really want to go to myhighshop.com for some of the coolest cannabis clothing and accessories. They have shirts, sweats, jewelry, grinders, and even pipes made out of amethyst crystals. You can check them out using the link below and let them know I sent you by using code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. You can save 35% off your entire order and free shipping. Again, that's code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. Thank you to myhighshop.com, and let's get back to the show.
And
Thank
we're
you.
back.
Thank you so much, My High Shop. You guys rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Love you, My High Shop.
that was awesome. So thanks for sticking with us through that Gabby portion. Now welcome to this one.
So, obviously, we've talked about the strains, we've talked about the weed, and it's one of the, obviously, the best parts that we get to do about this podcast, but it doesn't make up the entire podcast because there's the moments in between where we're smoking the weed and we're talking and we're saying stuff like a podcast should do.
Yeah.
And in those times, we had some pretty fucking awesome moments in these past couple 50 episodes.
Yeah, we had some really badass, like funny shit. I don't like. We're not gonna toot our own horns in this section. I'm sure we're not gonna go on about or anything like
We're
that.
tugging our whole dick. Isaac, tell us if we're
tugging-
getting too cocky.
Yeah, and if we are, say it in a way that makes Curtis go moan like an anime girl. But I know it's not hard to do. But we there's just okay, my favorite things, it's really hard for me to nail down. I'll go first, oh, Curtis is
You go right ahead while I light another joint.
He's sparking up another one with that beautiful gold lighter there. But more
And for the
specifically,
buds at home, I may have put a little bit of crumbly wax in here.
Getting a
little bit of crumble.
you're gonna get a little dangerous. But a dark-winged duck. But
Anyway.
but ultimately, I thought about it before we recorded this. I sat down. Curtis and I, we sat down. Isaac as well, I'm sure, a little bit, as much as he could in his basement before
Right.
we let him out. But I reflected on the podcast. I sat down. I went over old episodes. I checked out old stuff, old segments I loved, and stuff like that, and everything else. And I cannot pick a favorite moment, a moment throughout the podcast that I love, that I enjoy the most. But
Singular moment? No.
But what I can say is that going through the old episodes, I picked out so many little moments from so many different episodes that really stood out to me that I would have to say, ultimately my favorite episodes are the ones where we change something. Where, we grow and change that sticks. Something that comes into the show and it sticks around and it becomes part of the culture, part of the canon, part of what we do in every episode. And Tokshkabok, always 420 somewhere, doing our dry hits, thank you, Tamara. Doing the fucking the updates to our videos on YouTube. Every time that we jumped a quality jump on YouTube, those episodes, I was blown away every single time. And it's
Alright.
just the season 2 introduction of interviews, all kinds of shit that just really makes me every time I go back over it and I think about the things that really make me happy about the podcast and the moments that I've enjoyed the most, it's those moments where we've changed something and it's been yeah, fuck yeah, let's just keep doing that. That's great. This is awesome. And we kept doing it. Like I said, if I had to pick my most favoriteest though, it'd be the introduction of Tokshbok. Tokshbok. I say it to myself now. Sometimes when I'm sitting in my office by myself lighting up a joint, I'll be like Tokshbok, and I'll light my joint up.
Oh, You're welcome.
It's just made up. Just Curtis made it up on the fucking spot, on the fly, randomly, when we were being goofy as fuck.
Now
I
you
think
got
it
the
wasn't
dog
until
looking
like
at you crazy.
I think it wasn't until like episode 2 or 3
Yeah.
until I finally am just like Tokshkabok, let's do
Yeah,
this.
you were just
Some
being
stuff like
goofy. You were just being goofy about it, and you just said toke spoke, and we toked and we lit and everything. And then the next episode, I was like, man, you got to do it again. And you were like, I'm not sure, man. And I was like, it's so great though, and I love it. And honestly, it's part of the podcast now. Like, and it's like honestly, like I think
I mean,
like,
it was part of it because you made it, but
it's true, it's true,
it
but
became
it
part
was,
of it.
but it was so like it was something that
I
when
went
I
out.
heard it, it just stuck with me. And I was like, man, I love that. Like when it stuck with me, it was something that it was goofy enough that it caught my ear, but it also made enough sense that I knew exactly what you were telling me to do. And I was like, I fucking love that because it speaks to me. And like just a complete absurdist goofiness, but straightforward enough that you're like, fuck yeah, I love it. So like that moment when the toke spoke, and the other one, oh, when you got up from the table and you walked away and you had to censor yourself on YouTube, that was another amazing moment that I really enjoy.
That
When
was
you were
my
like,
favorite.
"Fuck this! I'm out of here! I have to fuck it!" It's in the commercial, man. I had to mention it. Everybody's seen it by now. But it's like, it's one of those best moments, right? And like, oh, just like so many good, like fucking, just great moments throughout the series. Like, and I mean, I don't know, like, what do you think, man? Like, Curtis, what are some of your favorite, man? Like that you stand out to you?
Well, so a lot of moments that stick out to me, I mean, for me personally, is talking mainly about stuff that I like. You
Yeah.
know, I like talking about weed. I like talking about video games. I like talking when it's, you know, something that's interesting enough where I can be like, you know what, I have opinion. I'm able to talk. Might as well be able to. So, you know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
nice when I get, I don't know, those episodes where we either have something extremely nice to talk about or, you know, like the introduction of the news segment was probably one of my favorite things.
oh man, the way you hit that We News Worldwide punch, it gets me right in my chest every time. Love it.
It's a combination of stuff that I want to, you know, talk about and I want to learn about. I always like learning more about my cannabis. I always like smoking more of it, and I always like knowing, you know, other stuff in terms of what's going on in the world of cannabis.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's important to me being in a state that was previously illegal, now it then was medical, and now is full recreational for adult use. So, obviously, following the news with that was very important. So, being able to report it, you know, on a podcast and how the implications of that were coming into play was very nice for me. So, yeah, the introduction of weed news and just, you know, being able to go over stories that both learn, make me laugh,
Yeah, there's some
also get me
entertaining ass
interested
weeds,
in
like news stories.
some extremely entertaining ones.
Funny as hell.
Obviously, the one where the guy got fucking rammed into and then fucking left a trail of weed leading right to where he
And then
was
in a canal.
That's right.
in a fucking canal.
So great.
So yeah, stories like that, but then on top of that, learning about those stories also intrigues other learning into other aspects. For example, we learned about a corporation that in the UK is trying to get cannabis oils and higher concentrates able for children with terminal cancer and stuff
Yep.
like that, so they're able
Fighting
to
the good
have
fight.
healing, good fighting chance. We fucking loved that, and actually we gave money to them because we
Yeah.
found a way to fucking
Yeah,
donate.
we found a way to donate, fighting the good fight, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, those people are
Um,
those people are helping out in the best possible way they can right now.
And on top of that, we've also covered news stories ranging from the fucking legalization of certain states. So now I have a bucket list of where I can visit because I can freely go there and then get weed
Oh, I
and
know
know that
way
I'll
more,
have weed when I'm
way more
there.
about legalization than I ever thought I would, especially in the States. As a Canadian, through our
Well-
news segment, because Curtis was the one 100% that it just like he suggested that, and it was one of the best suggestions that could have come across the table when we were having brainstorming.
I
And
mean,
like, it's like
not
we
that
all
you
we all come across the stories, but like he was
it's
like,
not that Shank was against it, but he was
No.
like, he had this one little bit of contention with the
yeah, I
fact
wasn't
that
sure. I wasn't sure about
cannabis,
it.
because cannabis was already legal in Canada.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, how much news can really come from it other than business stuff and stocks and shit like that?
It's true, and a lot of
And even
stuff
then-
online is still business and stonks.
But then once we started doing a deep dive, he's like, holy shit, there's still
Yeah,
huge fucking grow ops that are
yeah,
getting raided. There's still people
absolutely.
acting like dumbasses on pod.
Absolutely,
And
and not only that,
fucking,
but it's a worldwide thing too. Like the fact that it's a global, we don't just cover. It's
we've
not local to us. It's local to the internet, and the internet is everywhere.
we've covered stories from Amsterdam, from Israel, from fucking China. We had a
Ireland,
guy in Japan,
yeah, Australia. Like we even went
Australia
upside down
multiple
for that
times,
one. It was amazing.
a couple in the UK.
Yep, and
Yeah,
and yeah, and I agree. Like, and I've learned so much about American politics and American legalization of cannabis process as a Canadian that it blows my fucking mind. Like people up here mention it completely ignorant of it. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, the states will never legalize." And I'm like, "Actually, as a matter of fact, they're currently working on it. They have a bill in place right now ready to go through, but they're still waiting on constituents to write in or call in and give their input on what they think should be changed or amended on the bill. If there is anything they want to change or amend, and if they don't, then they'll just put it forward.
correct.
And
Which,
then
if I'm
cannabis will
correct,
be
the
yeah,
dateline is until September, so Buds, you still got time to do that if
yeah,
you want. Check it out on Leafly.
yeah,
There's new stories about it. But
absolutely. But yeah, and I
yeah,
learned that shit from
exactly.
us doing the news.
And I learned more about the Canadian government and Canadians' legalizations policies and their policies on other stuff just by news and from talking.
Yeah,
And on top of that, one thing that I thought I would never give any sort of fuck about, stocks.
stonks.
We ended up talking about stonks a little bit, and then it grew a little bit more. We've talked about it multiple times now, and now I'm
He's an
invested.
investor.
Isaac, I know you're invested in some cannabis companies,
I'm
right?
invested in their
Or,
success.
and Shank, he's
I'm,
waiting to get into the
yeah,
market, but
I'm invested in their
yeah,
success. There's a few companies that I'm looking at right now, and there's a few companies I'm very interested in. But I am very what's the word I'm looking for? Frugal. I'm very stingy
yes.
with my money. So like I got to be 100% sure, and it's hard to be 100% sure when you're gambling on stocks. Curtis and Isaac have had some success though, and the markets
I've
are
had a
doing
couple positives, but I've had a
okay.
couple negatives too.
Yeah,
I've seen through a merger through Tilray,
but
which
either
I
way, we're
thought was a
putting
good
yeah,
idea, but wasn't the smartest. A couple buds probably know the idea.
yeah,
But
turned out a little wonky on that one.
I have invested in a couple American companies who have come out very well.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I've only been, my cannabis stocks plummet
Yeah,
terribly
yeah,
I
they didn't do
mean,
too good.
because I had
I'm,
Tilly and Aurora.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
My only stock come ups was GameStop and Bitcoin.
oh yeah.
yeah,
I mean, in
yeah.
all fairness, we're not investors, but it made
Mhm.
me want to think about it, made me want to care about it, and
Yeah.
made me get
And it got
involved
us
with
on the
it.
path of learning more about it too, right? It kind of educated us a
Which
little
got
bit,
me
got
into
us, yeah,
which got me into Bitcoin
yeah.
a little bit more. So now I have crypto, and that's going successfully.
And that's what I'm hoping we're doing for some of the buds out there as well listening to us right now is that when they get into like the podcast and they hear us talk about these things that are kind of interesting that are going on around the world they may not have heard about that they go, "Oh man, cool. Like I'm going to check that out." Cuz I mean like that's I love that about podcasts. Like cuz I also am a consumer of podcasts and when they mention something like I'm a big video game podcast fan and when they mention something about a game that I've never tried before or something like that, it makes me want to boot the game up and go, "Man, I'm going to give that a shot and try it out, you know?" And then I learned something new, and I'm like, oh, that's neat, right? So it's cool that even as a cannabis podcast, that honestly we don't take ourselves too seriously. We like to have fun, smoke weed, white runts, the whole 9 yards.
Of course.
But like, it's cool to think that even while we're having fun, we can be like Dora the Explorer and help kids learn while they're fucking smoking, having fun, right? Except not for kids. This
Exactly.
isn't for kids. That was
Do you
not my
want to learn
endorsement of
more?
kids watching the
No,
podcast.
no. Do you want to learn more? Go ahead. Do you know where the description is? Click on that.
El
Yeah.
smoke los marihuanos. But
Okay.
¿por qué? But no, seriously, el clico le subscribo.
So Isaac, I mean, we're not going to say that you watch every single episode because we don't force you to watch every single episode. It's just the only thing we put on for you
I
in the
do, but
basement.
I feel like he
I,
zones out and he
like,
imagines other things.
exactly. So, what's something that you've noticed from the beginning that you think has changed or has differed that is good? Give us any form of reinforcement.
Yeah,
Just
please,
tell us we're not
please,
shit.
yeah, please.
You guys
please.
are complete fucking. No, I'm joking.
Cut off the feed. Cut off the feed.
Well, I mean, as it's already been said, the quality of everything has tremendously improved since literally the pilot, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Oh man, welcome buds. Episode 1, welcome, buds. I remember the galaxy. Do you remember the galaxy?
I know.
You made it. No, I'm asking Isaac too. Like, Isaac, do you remember the
Yeah.
galaxy? Us sitting there with that nauseating fucking constantly moving constellation that still wasn't that bad to watch because it was like Curtis made it good so it didn't make you feel sick, but you felt like you should feel sick.
Hey, stuff's happening.
Hey.
Damn.
Yeah, things are
yeah.
happening. Pow!
We've had sets and things and stuff, and obviously made our characters look better on the YouTube videos,
Oh,
and
gorgeous. Look at this.
the audio quality is significantly better because it went from recording off of our headsets, recording on a PlayStation 4, off of the Fall Guys start screen.
Yep, the one where it says press start, where there's no audio.
Exactly. Going from there to recording off of fucking Yeti microphones, off of our very expensive computers.
Off of our computers in our actual like dedicated areas for said podcast. Like, you know, we obviously
Our
do other
studios
things here,
per
but
se.
our studio areas.
Coming
like,
from my studio in the basement.
Well, I already say, like I always say,
Mine's in the
and,
attic, you
this
fuck.
is like now it is episode 50, so I'm going to be 100% full disclosure, full 100% transparency.
Okay.
I am in a fifth dimensional pocket in my house. I actually walk through a bookshelf, like in the movie, what's that, with the fucking Matthew McConaughey and his daughter, and Love is the Secret, Interstellar. Like that movie where, you know, like the fourth, I'm in one of those pockets. That's where my studio is built.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in the attic of an Arby's.
And Isaac's obviously in our basement.
In Detroit, Michigan.
In Detroit, Michigan. Find the Arby's. Good luck. There's like 50 of them.
They'll never get past the glass. Bulletproof.
Oh my God. But our
And
studio,
quarterback
yeah.
proof.
But
We've
obviously,
tried.
obviously the studio that you buds see on YouTube. This is gonna be hard truth, but it's episode 50. Curtis animates all of that. It's animated. It's not actually our studio. We don't actually film there.
They know I work very hard, and I make sure people know that I work very hard at that.
I know.
That's why you should like, comment, subscribe, and share this with all your buds at home.
He works very, very hard on those videos, and they are fantastic videos. And honestly, like Isaac was saying, honestly, this is like just me taking a moment to say to Curtis, like, this is a personal thing, like dude to dude. And on the podcast, I want it recorded for posterity, but his editing skills since the beginning of the podcast have gotten substantially better, and like the videos now, the quality level of them is fucking awesome. There are so many moments now that I openly chuckle even watching because during the earlier ones there was no cutaway animation, there was no extra stuff, there was no assets that weren't necessary, and Curtis has kind of turned this little like kind of blank idea canvas.
Work the shaft.
Now I'm going
Work
for the balls
the
right now. I'm going for the
shaft.
balls in the tank. I'm tickling the tank. Give me a second. But
Okay.
essentially, like we went from literally, like I said, a desk with our dudes with a galaxy to like this amazing set that even the change from season 1 to season 2, and then since season 2 started to where we are now, it's like this. It's like watching a kid grow. You don't realize it's happening if you're watching every single episode. But if you go back to an earlier episode after having watched the most recent one, you're like, what the actual shit? How did that, like when did they, like, this is amazing, like, you know, like, and you don't even notice the growth until you really go back and look over it. And, like, Curtis's skills as a video editor, like, during the tenure of this podcast is awesome. And that's just fantastic. When we eventually start getting paid enough that we can hire an editor, they're gonna need to take lessons from you before they take over.
If we get to the point where we can afford that, I can afford to quit my job and I can just edit full time.
That's true. We don't even need to hire an editor. Then we'll just hire.
We'll still hire the editor for the other shit. I'll just focus on podcasts though.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I just had to say that, man. Like I had to have that recorded. And like,
no, I appreciate it.
And like it's you work hard and it shows.
Oh yeah, and it's nice to fucking it does, like I've said before multiple times on this podcast, it's nice to have that structure outside of actual work and stuff like that, because my work schedule is sporadic, seeing other things is sporadic, but with work, And podcast, I'm able to get a nice solid schedule. I'm able to fucking know what I want to do, and that led me to know, exactly when I have enough free time. That's why I now have a very nice lady friend, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy. Never thought that would happen. Had nothing to do with the podcast, but
I just for the record, I knew it was gonna happen someday. I knew someday that their little Curtis would pop onto the PlayStation party and be like, "Yep, so I got a girlfriend." I mean, it took a little while. There were a few weeks of like I'm not gonna go too much
hemming
into
and
it,
hawing.
but he did discuss the fact that she existed and that he was going to meet her and that he was looking forward to said meeting. And then it was great because we got to follow along during the process of them meeting each other and getting along very swimmingly. And now like
That's right. I did not buy a Russian mail order bride.
that's right.
So-
And honestly, we know, and I can confirm, and I will go on record saying that he did not get a mail order bride. Allegedly.
Kind of funny with these receipts I have.
Allegedly.
Bum bum bum.
Allegedly.
That hasn't been totally typed out on Microsoft Word.
Oh yeah, why do I have this receipt on it that says Tiffany? That's Tiffany and Co. I bought a bracelet. For who? My Russian mail order.
Ah,
Clever
gotcha. Got him.
Caught in 4K.
Caught in 4K.
Caught on iPhone.
4K. He was caught in
ba-na-na-na.
4K.
Na 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 na.
Oh man, but seriously, like, there's just like, but now like the moments, like that, like you've added to the podcast in post, like because the audio is funny. We do little cutaway audio gags sometimes, but when you do them visualized, like I'm going to say specifically, because I'll have one where you couldn't make it. Something had come up.
Oh
Unfortunately.
yes, one of our
Yeah.
actually one of our top episode on YouTube, fucking
Yeah.
episode 24, Orange Crush Mimosa with
Yeah.
Pecos BOK.
Pecos VOK, my very good friend, and Curtis unfortunately couldn't make it. Something had come up, bad situation. He dealt with it
I was
like a
at work.
bouse. It was a work thing, but he dealt with it like a bouse. And while he was dealing with it, we
What?
we
Oh,
we
you got
had,
abducted.
well, that's exactly it. That's what I'm covering now because this is I can't like I gotta say like we didn't actually film him where he got it like where the fighting ninjas. I wish we did actually get live footage of that happening, but Curtis animated that whole scene and that whole cutaway. We edited that in post. I put in the sound effect randomly. I did not give Curtis not even an iota of direction. I just put sounds in, and then I sent it to him, and I was like, "Dude, just do what you can." And he was like, "All right." And then he's like, "Yep, video's on YouTube." So I checked it out, and like I even skipped ahead to that part because I was like, I had to see what he had done, and I was like, holy fuck, it made me laugh so hard because even though I sat there for hours editing everything together and hearing it over and over and over and over and over when I did, watching it new with the video on YouTube with that you put to it made it brand new again. That's why I do that. That's why I ingest the podcast through the videos, because when I watch your videos it makes it new. It's like I haven't sat there for fucking days just
Oh, I had
listening to it.
I'll add stupid little emphasis on some words where I'll just do like a random zoom in with a random subtitle. Sometimes I'll just have like
Slow zooms.
or slow zooms. Sometimes or the one time where we were talking about my coffee addiction, which it's not as bad anymore. I'm
Yeah.
getting clean, I swear.
He's only shaking
but-
a little bit.
And then the desk just kept piling up with more coffee, and then getting kicked around. Obviously,
Just those little things.
the ninja fucking bits from that episode were fucking hilarious.
You with
Fun
the
to do for
machine
me.
gun, I can't get out of my brain. I can't get the da-da-da-da-da-da. I can't get it out of my brain.
Fair little behind the scenes. I recorded that, and I had to let everybody else around me know that I was about to scream very loudly, so that way nobody, was worried for my health.
Yeah.
Because I usually am not that loud,
No. He talks at a normal volume.
and I
I'm the loud
have,
one.
and I have soundproofing in my studio, so
Yeah.
I knew I was about to scream. So I'm like, all right, everyone, I'm fine. Just
Don't
this is
worry
gonna
about me.
happen. It'll be like 3 seconds, and I'll be done.
Oh yeah, and it was just it was goddamn hilarious, man. It was funny. It legitimately seeing that. I still to this moment can see like you just like ba, 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 like fucking ninjas like all just like oh my god, man. Like it's
And-
so Just those little
We
things.
have had another. We haven't had another moment like that. Which, by the way, I still have to fucking meet Pagos for real. Fucking seems
Oh
like an
man,
awesome
yeah,
guy.
he.
The
Oh,
interview with him was very cool, and we'll talk more about interviews in a second.
we will,
But
yeah.
there was another one. Our interview with DJ Tiger, which again, cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great to interview with him. But unfortunately, something came
Yeah.
up with Shanks.
Family issue, family
Family
emergency.
issue. So Shank was unable to make it. So that was the episode I did without him for the interview. And for that, Shank ended up getting abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
So he sends me audio clips that he does for he got abducted by aliens. He has these really weird, nice distortion theremin music
Yeah.
type shit
Weird
going
ass
over
looking
it.
shit going, yeah.
He fucking did this weird alien voice and fucking post and shifted it up so it's like
Oh man. The
and
video,
yeah,
the video for that was great too. Like, oh my god.
so
Like-
I made a nice little video. I mean, it was fun. It was nice. It was a nice little
Yeah.
thing.
It turned out as well as it possibly could have for us having had like an emergency right beforehand. Like, and that's the best thing. Also, is this podcast has, I don't know about you, Curtis, but it's really helped me learn more about like thinking on my feet. Being like, all right, like our guest backed out at the last minute. What are we gonna do? Boom, we'll do this. All right, let's do it, and we go for it, and we commit, and it turns out great. You know, like it's like our idea is like when we're like quizzes or other things that if we have guests have issues or we have issues, we can figure a solution around it, right?
Exactly. We've been
Yeah.
able to come up with a couple of those. Obviously, our game of Cards Against Humanity, fucking.
Yep. That was so
Oh.
fun. But speaking
Done-
of that Cards Against Humanity game, I gotta ask Isaac, what has been like your favorite part of the podcast? You've been on several times now with a couple different people. You were on with Kevin. You've been on by yourself. Like and you've been like and so like what? But like even aside from that, what's just your favorite part of the podcast? Either part that you were on, part that you weren't on, just whatever, man.
That one dude who was deep throwing the mic. That wasn't me because they were hungry.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that
was
one
so
guy
good.
who totally wasn't me who was deep throating the mic.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, you like that?
No, just the quality of and the good animation of both of the abductions of ninjas and aliens. Those are
Yeah.
fucking golden.
Those cutaways were great.
Honestly, one of my favorite episodes was the episode where we just talked about Mortal Kombat.
Oh yes, like the set that you did for that was so good. By the way, the fact that you changed sets several times throughout, you kind of put like the classic set and the
Right.
modern set, and like it was
Also, we all had the marking, and there was
Yeah.
also Scorpion's rope and other stuff on the table. But
Yep, and when we talked about fucking the new Saw movie coming out, when we were talking about
Yeah.
my brain's I'm stoned as
Sorry.
hell right now. But when we were talking about Spiral, and we did that whole episode and covered like the whole set was all changed and cool looking.
oh yeah,
Like-
love Spiral. Fucking, I love I like the Mortal Kombat. Ah, fuck. God damn it! Between those two episodes, it's hard to say. I liked talking about Saw, and I absolutely love Saw. But I think we
I've
had
seen
a
the Mortal
lot.
Kombat movie several times since then, so I have to say that as much as
I
I
was
love
about-
Spiral and I love Saw, Mortal Kombat.
I was about to say fucking. No, I still love Saw just a slight bit more than Mortal Kombat, but I think we had a much better episode and a much nicer conversation on Mortal
Mhm.
Kombat.
Yeah, and it's
Like, for
that's
Saw,
partially, that's partially
Saw, I
thanks to
felt
Isaac
like-
as well, though, right? Because
I mean, exactly. We had a third person opinion, but on top of that, I feel like the Saw community, even though it's good, it's still growing. It's still slightly
Yeah.
niche on people who have seen everything and knows
Mhm.
the amount that you and I know.
yeah,
Mortal Kombat, I think, is a little bit more grown, where people, even if they know the slice amount, still know what we were talking about.
it's true. Yeah, yeah, and we could all
You don't have
three
to
of
play
us, like-
every single game.
And obviously now just to say how good buds we are, like how good of buds we really are, like is we sat not on the podcast, not for any reason whatsoever aside from the fact that we wanted to do it together. Curtis one day came on and he's like, "Guys, you got HBO Max. We're watching Mortal Kombat tonight." And we were me and Isaac were just like, So we got online, all of us. We were like in a party, like just in a Discord call, or
Yeah.
like, and we
Yeah, it was a Discord.
in a
Or
Discord
no.
call. Yeah, it was Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Discord, yeah. And we watched the Mortal Kombat movie together.
Again, we all. I gave
We
them
sat
the
down.
HBO fucking
Yep.
password and the email. We all logged in. fucking Shank used a VPN so he could get onto it because it's not available in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Whack.
But luckily he had a VPN. And yeah, we all just synchronized. We're like, all right, 3, 2, 1, start the movie.
Yep.
And it was funny because I think Isaac was a little fast, then it was Shank, and then I lagged like a second behind, so it would be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
Oh, shit. Yeah, but it was so good, man. Like, it was like that movie, like just watching that with you, buds, like, because like we all love video games. We all love like gory, violent, aggressive, like, man, like just messy fucking games, you know? Like those like fun ones that, like, I mean, get your violent urges out in a safe, productive, creative way. And we like those games, like the Battlefield, Call of Duty, mostly first person
GTA, the
shooters,
Mortal
but
Kombat.
GTA, Mortal Kombat, you name it, right? And so that movie, like, when like we enjoy that kind of stuff, but like it's
The fan
also our
service
commentary the entire time. I think Isaac, I recall he was just kind of sitting there for the most part. He didn't.
Isaac was
like
Isaac
now.
was sitting there. He contributed a couple times, and at the end, we're like, Isaac, how'd you feel? And he's like, I just had to absorb everything I can. I'm watching this movie again tonight.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, you guys were commentating on everything, and it was awesome. Like, he's like, you were breaking down the movie as it was going, and he's like, I couldn't concentrate on the movie, so I'm watching it again tonight. And then he did, and then he watched it again with his other half, and then he watched it again.
Watched it. Yep, I watched it like 3 times within like a 24 hours span.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's awesome, but it's a great movie, and that was a fun episode too. Like, that really was a very fun episode, like getting together, like, and just chatting about the movie and everything like that. And like that was a really good moment on the podcast. That was just really, like, just very, yeah, it was fun.
it was fun, and I mean, we've been talking a little bit about it being around the bush, and now for honestly, I think one of the best parts that we've added to the show that me and Shank would both agree on for season 2. Not that one.
No, not that one.
It's actually our conversation / interview segment as it's gone through a couple iterations so far.
Yeah, it has gone there. Yeah,
What has now been
conversation.
determined as the conversation.
Yeah,
Our
games, quizzes. We just call it a
the
conversation.
games, the quizzes, but it's also our time where we interact with other creators, friends, commentators, podcasters, fucking
Yeah.
anybody else. Who?
Enemies.
Yeah,
haven't had
and
any
we haven't
enemies
had
so
any
far.
enemies on yet.
Everyone's been a good bud so
Isaac's
far.
like,
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
But no,
But,
we've been able to talk to so many of our friends and good people who have become our good buds over the fucking past season, fucking past 30 episodes or so.
absolutely, and it's been a really fun segment. And again, that was one that we both kind of have talked about since the beginning of the show. Like, that's not one that we kind of like that either one of us really brought to the table. That's something we actually from day one said.
Or like
Hey,
eventually
wouldn't it
we're gonna be able to
wouldn't it
have
be
people
cool?
on.
Yeah, if people actually were interested in us enough that we weren't like, we have one episode that has one listener, and do you want to?
So we agreed.
You know,
Let's try to get one season, 20 episodes, 1 hour
Yeah.
plus some, and then see if we, we're able to have the resources and the time and shit to make 2-hour long episodes.
Absolutely.
And we'll realize, fuck it, yeah, we do. Let's get another person on for that second hour.
Yeah, we were
Keep
like,
the
we could,
convo going.
we were like, we could easily do this. We can make it another, make it a little bit longer. Have somebody come on, talk about miscellaneous wicked things, and like Curtis said, we have had a wide variety of guests.
Absolutely. Fucking, like I've said before, we had my cousin JMO on, who was fucking awesome. Obviously,
JMO's
you gotta get
badass.
the family. We've had Isaac on, fucking,
You
gotta have our
bitch.
friends on.
Isaac
You
has been on.
bitch.
Isaac has been on more. Actually, Isaac has been our most frequent guest. He's been the guest who's come back more
7
frequently.
or 8 times now.
But I don't know. It's not really. I don't know. It's
Who's
like
counting?
he's more
I
like he's more like furniture. I don't think he, like, right?
Excuse me?
He gets
Like,
moved
well,
around
like,
as
at this
needed.
at this point, like, you might as well live here, but you get moved around as needed.
When you
so
go
anyway.
down in either Warzone or Zombies, don't think I'm gonna res you.
Man, you're always like 500 meters away from me. How are you gonna get to me?
Snap. Clap.
Who always reses you though?
Curtis rests me.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't. He just runs by. Actually,
I'm
usually
usually
I just
with
watch
Isaac.
you guys. I usually just watch you guys because it's entertaining as fuck. But Isaac has been
Anyway.
on the show more than anybody, and obviously it's because like he's one of our best buds, and he's here all the time anyway. He just kind of pops in sometimes.
Exactly. But we've
But-
also had some fucking nice musical guests on. Obviously, like we've said, Pecos VOK.
Yeah,
And-
my good buddy there. He's working on an album still. He said he's gonna update me on that very soon actually, so I'll be able to update the buds about that some more.
And the same with my good buddy Biggs. Again, we had him on fucking our second interview, and our first interview with somebody completely unrelated to the podcast.
Yeah, Biggs is man. Biggs is a man, actually. Like, good dude. But we've had some seriously, we've had international people on the podcast too. We've had people from that have like Pinio and Loeb.
Love Pinio and
Dude,
Loeb, and
those
I'm
dudes.
still vibe out to them every Sunday on their Twitch streams,
Fuck
and
yeah,
they
man.
had such a good energy. And I still remember our episode with them when they're just like, "Yeah, well, what happens when everything falls over and doesn't work? We usually just clap. We all just start clapping together."
And they both just put their hands up in the air and start clapping about it. And it's fantastic. And they're, like we said, good dudes, good buds.
Yeah.
And they're very successful right now.
High energy, churn that butter. If you are listening, buds.
Yeah, if you're out there, churn that butter.
And speaking of roaming DJs, Russell Stevenson.
Yes, Russell Stevenson, dude. Yes, he was on the news, man. Dude, immediately after. And now, I'm not going to say that him being on our podcast got him put on the news, but I will say that almost immediately after he was on the Good Buds podcast, where Good Buds Smoke Good Buds, he was on the news.
Correlation.
It wasn't for anything
Exactly.
drug related either. It was actually feel good story of the week kind of situation, which was awesome.
Coincidence? Entirely.
Coincidence? I think so. But and also we got fucking Ryan Conway and Liza Giangrande, the people working on a TV show. They're working on a show that people are gonna
On
be
air
watching.
TV show, fucking
The on-air TV
hilarious
show?
people.
Oh my god!
I've been following them on their Instagram and their
Yep.
fucking newsletter and shit. Fucking hilarious peoples.
Absolutely 100%. And they're wholesome as fuck. Ryan is one of the funniest dudes, and Liza, she's hilarious. And both of them are talented as hell, and they work really
Both
hard.
extremely
to act,
down to earth.
Yeah, and they work hard too. Both of them work really hard. You can tell because in their Instagram, they're constantly work.
Exactly. And on top of that, we've also had some very hardworking fucking women in the cannabis industry who have definitely proven themselves.
Yep.
We've had Tamara Lillian, who taught us so fucking much in just her short
She
little
changed
time
the
that we were able.
podcast. She did change the podcast.
The reason we do dry hit ASMR now is specifically because she told us.
Yeah,
Not
try
that she
dry
told
hit.
us to do it, but
She
she's like, "Hey,
recommended it.
try doing it."
Yeah,
she recommended it, and we're like, "Dude, might as well."
Yeah,
It's
cool.
a slightly different flavor sometimes.
Absolutely, she changed and she obviously a fucking amazing sommelier. She has her facts. She does facts online,
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really cool. Ask
She
an
actually
Expert?
is on. Yep, Ask an Expert, which is on the High B&B YouTube channel. Which,
Mhm.
speaking of High B&B, Elizabeth Becker,
Elizabeth Becker, High B&B,
CEO, fucking
Yep.
Hot Dog Bear.
Powerhouse behind this company that basically does what Airbnb does, but better because it's cannabis.
Friendly
Remember the song?
accommodations.
Everything is better with a bag of weed. You don't need crack and you don't need speed. No, everything is better with a bag of... I'm gonna stop because I don't want to get copyright strikes.
Exactly.
You're not gonna get copyright strike from that. Fuck.
Yeah.
I
Isaac,
don't know, Fox is
we-
fucking tight ass.
Isaac, we've also had a couple of your friends on who've fucking
Mhm.
told us a couple stories and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Was the
hey,
first-
Ron.
First we had AA Ron. He was a good fucking bud.
Yeah, hey, Ron, man.
Kevin.
Yeah,
And your
and
boy
Kevin. Your boy Kevin, man. We got on GTA with him, and friggin' it's awesome, dude. We have such a great time. Because he falls in right with us.
Right.
A lot of people, if they get on with us, they get frustrated because we're like, yeah, we'll jump on and do a heist, and they're all like, all right, cool, man. And they hop on, and they're like, why aren't we doing the fucking heist after an hour and a half? And we're like, what do you mean?
After 15 minutes,
yeah.
usually.
Yeah, maybe 15 minutes they start complaining, right? But Kevin with us, man, he was like, yeah, we'll jump on and do some missions. And after an hour and a half, we were still just blowing up random cars in parking lots, and he was like, I'm cool with this, and just keeps
Playing
going.
Frogger, fucking.
Yeah, he's
I'll
down.
spawn in a
He's
helicopter.
He's down to fuck around, and he just great.
We also
dude.
still play Rogue Company with him.
We do,
Fucking-
yes, yeah. I
Like,
barely
he's
play
a
Rogue
Switch
Company,
player.
but yeah,
He's a Switch player, and occasionally I will play fucking Switch games with just him.
hell yeah. Hell yeah,
So,
cool dude,
yeah,
cool dude.
very good, bud.
Yeah.
And Shank, obviously, we've had a couple of your friends
Mm-hmm.
on. Fucking,
We have indeed, such as actually Corpsey
oh yeah,
Grimm, really great, wonderful friend of mine. Actually, he's got a YouTube channel that's coming up soon. I feel obligated to mention it, like not because I'm going to be on it at some points. So if you buds out there, like checking it out, I'm not gonna drop any
shout out.
beats yet, but just quick shout out. But he's a wonderful dude, great dude, very soft spoken. But he came on the podcast. He came on and talked to all of you buds for me. That's how good of a friend he is because he doesn't talk to people.
I'm
So
I'm very proud of him. For
yeah, he
that.
got the
Like,
name Corpsey.
not patronizing, fucking
No,
like
dead serious.
seriously,
Dead
good
serious.
shit,
He
man.
doesn't talk to people, and he came on here and he talked to all y'all, and he had a great time. And honestly, that great time that he had inspired him to start his YouTube channel. So, like,
That's
I
good.
go for a weekly drive with this guy. Like, we have a great time, and I can't. But Josh Horsnope is the other one, the D&D guru, the forever DM, who desperately wants to be a part of a campaign.
The secondary meme lord.
Where he's not DMing, but he is our secondary meme lord. He fell in love with the podcast, fell in love with all, like, he thinks Curtis is a great guy, like thinks that we're all awesome team, that what we're doing is great, that we're like, and he's entertained as hell by us, so he decided to give us some entertainment back by sharing some memes with us. He will never take Isaac's place as our primary.
Let's get one fucking thing straight, kid. I'm superior in the memes.
We don't need a meme war here, boys. Calm down. Put the meme nukes away.
Don't need to
With
play
all-
more.
With all respect.
You don't need a meme thrower.
All due respect, sir.
Yeah, no, but
Oh, yeah.
that's like I said, like Josh
No
is
hate,
the,
no
Josh
hate,
is
no
the,
hate.
no, no hate, no. But Josh is the secondary meme lord. He came along and he was like, man, I'm sharing some other memes with these buds because like this Isaac guy is fire, and I'm finding a few that he's not finding, so I'll pop those up, and that's there's our meme lord and our meme lord.
It's not easy to find weed related memes when you don't smoke.
I know he needs to get high.
Exactly.
If this episode gets 150,000 likes, then Isaac will smoke a joint.
Let's get the 150 likes.
No,
I'll force him to.
150.
If it gets 150 likes.
Oh shit! If this
Yeah.
episode gets 150 likes,
We got a mission, buds.
Curtis is
we got a
driving
mission.
2 hours to get to Isaac so they can smoke a joint.
I know what bots are like, so you pay for the bots. I don't know.
Damn it!
But
There goes Plan A. So you buds are
On
gonna have
top
to click that like button.
please too. And back on our fucking
Yeah.
fantastic conversations. I mean,
Yes.
speaking of the Olympics are fucking around. We've had a fucking Paralympian.
My other buddy on the show who I used to work with, Ben.
Fucking Ben Brown.
Yeah, Ben Brown, man. He didn't
Again,
make
I'm-
it this year, but that didn't pid him down. He's still training very hard. He's still
I'm
doing
following
his
him on Facebook, and he's still fucking pushing. He's still
Yeah.
training. He's still ready to go.
Yeah, he did not let himself get put down at all by not going this year. He's very proud of all the athletes that did get to go, and how, that kind of thing, and that do get to go. But he's still training, still doing really hard work. I'm gonna keep himself in tip top.
Like I was mentioning earlier, I have an interest in fucking cryptocurrency. And one of the fucking best people who has helped me with this, Nick Prouton. Fucking
Yeah.
the short time we had him on, gave me some pretty sound fucking ideas on what I should be doing in cryptocurrency. He didn't give me
Yeah.
advice. He's not an advisor,
Nope.
but he just helped me get informed into
Information, yeah, he's very informative. He taught me a lot as well. Before, honestly, I thought that cryptocurrency was a complete bullshit shenanigans kind of scheme, but he did give me some very enlightening points, and he helped me learn a lot of things about it that got me interested in learning more myself. And he does suggest going out and learning more yourself as well, and that he's not an advisor, but it made me kind of realize you can trust it a little bit more. But good dude, man. But another great dude. This guy's energy, and this interview was the hardest one to set up. I gotta say, this interview, organizing this one was difficult because this man lives on the other side of the ocean from Curtis and I. Like, Curtis and I have an hour distant difference in time, but this dude's like 5, right?
Right.
Tim Turner of the Posthuman podcast.
Fucking
His
great
energy-
guy.
His
Great
energy, dude, his energy was so like chaotic and fun and just like contagious. It was so enjoyable. And like, he was stoked about the podcast. He was stoked about us as people. Like, we were stoked about his podcast as well. And he just brought such amazing energy to that interview that, like, we've had amazing guests who are all have their own awesome personalities and their own details and everything else that makes them a unique, wonderful person. But his was just it made you feel like a sativa. He was a sativa person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He was like,
And
if you had a strain called Tim Turner, it would make you be like, man, I'm gonna do shit today. You
it
know,
was
like
just, it was great to fucking.
They have that.
Here.
It's called speed.
Yeah. No.
or
Fucking-
Spatterall, where you take speed and Adderall and mix them together.
Not to mention, he had probably the coolest sweater of anybody on the podcast so far.
Straight up dogs.
Yo.
But no, straight up,
I
yeah.
love anime.
And he's
But-
a hardworking dude too. He like told us about how much he works and how much he records and how he's like always in a studio. And I feel for him. I'm in my studio frequently too. But like he
Same.
works hard, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to be on the podcast with him. Fucking,
Yes.
I gotta hit him up soon and fucking,
Ditto.
let's see how he's doing and shit.
Now that
but-
now that we're getting past the 50 episode mark, we can
exactly.
try to get
We're
all
gonna
of
be-
them and see what we can do.
Exactly. We are gonna be taking a little bit of a in between season break, so we'll be making some stuff for you buds in the meantime, and we'll be back with
Mid-season
podcast.
finale.
It kind of
But-
mid-season break.
Exactly. But like we said, fantastic to have the interviews, and we thank everybody else who we've also had in fucking, our second season. We've also had Suzanne, DJ
Isaac.
Tiger from fucking
Isaac.
the Tiger Chronicles, Isaac multiple times, and
Hi.
my good friend Benji Bills.
Dude, Benji Bills is so great.
Oh, I fucking
Like he's wonderful, and like I'm glad that you brought him on the podcast and that you introduced, because he was like such a like wholesome, awesome, down to earth dude who was like just fun to talk to.
Oh yeah,
Good dude.
And I gotta get to Colorado so I can see that man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
not
just
only
wanna see
that, but they got
Colorado.
that, yeah, the Colorado.
Get the cannabis infused barbecue sauce.
Exactly. I gotta get some of that Tea Gritty Farms.
Tiggerty Farms.
But
Eat that Tiggerty chicken.
and most importantly, I think the best part from season 1, from season 2, I think me, Jank, and Isaac can all agree on this. It's you buds. Thank you so much for being here.
It's for buds like you. But no, straight up, he is dead. Seriously though, he does speak for all of us. He at least speaks for me as well when he says that. Like, we really cannot say how much we appreciate you buds tuning in and like listening to us and giving two like stoners the opportunity to talk at you every week, and a third non-stoner to come on every now and then and try to use the microphone. I think honestly, it's a fantastic idea that I think at this point, since we're nice and long toothed into the episode, I'd like to take another bong hoot. How about you, Curtis?
Well, before we take that bong hoot, I think we need to ask the question that I should have asked a little bit ago, but fuck it. We're at this point. Think, how are you feeling?
Fantastically stoned, man. like just such a good level, man. Honestly, this Tangerine Dream, it's such a good strain that like when I get high from it, I smoked a joint, a blunt, and a bong hoot. Like, not a little blunt either. It was a good blunt and a bong hoot, and I am functional. I can still move. I can still take care of business. I can still do things. I'm still having a great time, and I'm not having too much of a problem. I'm having a bit of lag. You may have noticed when I try to think about certain things, but I'm not like unable to get my point across. I'm like feeling cognizant enough that I can talk and get my point across, and I'm having a wonderful time. I'm so stoked that
I'm good. I'm totally I'm fine, guys.
I was gonna say, but
That's
how
not
are
what
you,
sound-
Curtis? How you doing, man?
No, I was just saying that kind of
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. No, I'm fantastic. I feel wonderful. This is a great strain. Like, I'm stoned as fuck, but it's not
Good shit,
killing me.
man.
Not killing me.
So, as for how I am, thank you.
Yes. Yes. How are you? I need to know.
I'm doing good. Again, I am cerebral. Again, I am thinking. But I'm not thinking of words to say, if that makes sense.
No, I get
I'm
it.
very comfortable where I'm at, but I do feel like I also just want to like go for a walk, even though
Yeah.
it's getting late.
Going for a walk in the ghetto.
I'm a little thirsty, so I do have to grab a Pepsi soon, and I do have to pee.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know if that
yeah.
has to do with the weed, but it's a
No,
medical condition.
100%.
I went under the table,
Mhm.
so That's why it's one.
I knew what
Damn
the
it.
puddle was. I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm
I
sitting
knew I
over here.
I knew I should have worn my shoes today.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
wore
fine.
socks in.
Yeah, the floor is tilted your way, man. I'm good. But
But
yeah.
no, I'm feeling really good. Fucking, I'm just feeling so nice, and it just brings me back to a time where, I was feeling this for the first time.
Good
It feels
memories.
like
Good
memory.
memories, man.
I can't actually remember the memory, but I can just feel the memory. Like I'm
Yeah.
in a past life right now.
Yeah.
Astral
100%.
projection.
100%.
Emphasis on the ass.
Ass. So
But
yeah, that's good. Man.
Isaac, how about you, man? You still hydrated, oxidized?
Yeah, but depressed. I ran out of juice.
Oh, do you have any other beverage?
Want some weed?
You want some weed?
Uh,
I got
don't
some.
have
I got
pollen in me.
some. I got some Tangerine Dream.
You got
here.
what?
What? You think I was just gonna buy one carton?
Then shit, man. Then why are you depressed? You got a whole other carton. When one
Because I don't
carton
want-
closes, another carton opens. That's the rule
Kind
of
of don't
life.
want to open it.
Oh no, I get it.
Okay, that's fine.
Nah, it's fine. But
Even
you're
though you
still,
re-
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, for the buds at home, and I'm still gonna put it on YouTube because I don't feel like changing the asset all that much. But I have a bong pack right here,
And I have a bong pack right here.
and Isaac on the YouTube video has his orange juice. Don't fucking doubt me. It's pineapple orange banana juice. And
It's
to
the
the buds at
same
home,
thing.
we would like to thank you so much for joining us for 50 episodes, 2 seasons of the Good Buds podcast. For the last time, before we go on our little break ski, let us toke skibbo and blaze it.
Toke.
I'm just finding a torch.
Isaac found the blowtorch.
Awesome, that's fine. Let him play with it. It's fine. But
Yeah, burn
like
down the
Curtis
set.
said.
We might get a new one for season 3. But
Yeah. like
That is-
Curtis was saying.
the beautiful, beautiful blue dream that I got.
Tangerine Dream is what I'm smoking, and thank you, buds, so much for tuning in. I would like to once again remind you to like, comment, subscribe, share this with all of your friends out there. Just like let everybody know that the next like upcoming part of the show is going to be awesome. It's going to be just as fantastic, if not more fantastic than this one. And like Curtis said, we got some filler content coming up for you in the interim.
We
And
got some Good Buds gaming stuff for you. We're going to have some live streams. We might
Yeah.
have one coming up this week if you've
Yeah.
listened through to the end, celebrating our 50th episode. And obviously, you can always go back and check the episodes that you missed or the ones that you liked.
Absolutely. Just really quick, I would like to say that some of the episodes are different than others. If you don't like one, comment on it and tell us why. If you love one, comment on it and tell us why. Either way, we love hearing from you, buds. Please get a hold of us in any way you can. Thank you.
Okay. We
50
love hearing
episodes.
from you, and thank you so much.
All right. So,
Now-
yeah.
Let me just say, let us roll one for the road, and we will see you next time on the Good Buds podcast.
Later, buds.
Later.
Bye, bitch. I'm just joking.